Hey everyone, this is the 3 Degrees Podcast. My name is Randy Stone. I'm so glad you're here. So glad you're here. This is it. You know what? Ashley, way up in International Falls. So glad you're paying attention. Keep paying attention, girl. You will make it. You will make it. Don't give up. Don't cave in and quit. You got this. You got this. Well, in Ashley's honor, I want to talk about whiny baby behaviors. Whiny baby behaviors. What's a whiny baby behavior? I wrote them down. First is the need to explain. We can't just admit that we made a mistake. No, we have to explain our intention. Have you ever met someone like this? Something doesn't go right, but they intended for it to go right. So they have to tell you they didn't intend for it to go wrong. They really intended it for it to go right. So then that makes them okay. A whiny baby behavior is the need to explain. Don't have to explain everything. If you made a mistake, you made a mistake. Say, I made a mistake. Doesn't matter what the intention is. If the outcome was what it was, then stop trying to explain things. If you ended up in somewhere and did something you shouldn't have done, just say, man, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have went there. I don't know what I was thinking. I was wrong. I mean, just admit it. Don't have to give, just save people. Save people just save them. Save them the hurt from listening to you constantly explain yourself like a whiny baby. All right, number two, whiny baby behavior is abusing what we don't understand. If we don't understand something, chances are we're going to abuse it. If we don't understand something, chances are we're going to abuse it. So, what's this mean? Before we're developed, like we're working on a goal, we're trying to get somewhere and trying to put something together and if perfect example. An 18-year-old gets this inheritance of $100,000 and boom, what happens? He's probably going to spend it because he doesn't have the experience, the knowledge, or the understanding on how to utilize that $100,000 as a tool. Take someone in their late 30s or 40s or 50s. They have an inheritance of $100,000. They're going to have some life experience. They're going to have some way to deal with that. And so oftentimes when we jump out too soon, we abuse what we don't understand. This happens a lot in relationships. People want to get into relationships, but they don't know how to handle a relationship. Hello, I didn't know how to handle a relationship, got into one, and I abused the relationship. So we don't want to do that. We abuse behavior. We abuse what we don't understand. There is one more, wrote it down. We abuse what we don't understand. Here it is. Let our feelings. Number three, Mike Cooper. Number three. We got to do it this way. I learned something about this. Number 3. We let our feelings dictate our behavior. Maybe sometimes something will happen, often things happen during the day that make me angry. A situation doesn't go right. Somebody does something wrong. We have, just things happen and I get angry about it, but I don't operate out of the anger. I recognize it. I say, okay, I'm angry or I'm disappointed or that hurt, but we have to operate those feelings can't dictate how I treat others. See, I'm commanded to love, Ephesians, to love as Christ loved the church. And I'd like to take that out, love my wife as Christ loved the church, but to love as Christ loved the church. Love as Christ loved the church. So we want to love as Christ loved the church. So we want to have this as much as possible, have this unconditional love. And so we can't be allowing what comes in to dictate how we see how we act by our feelings. We want to act by the Word of God. What the Word of God says about a thing is what we want to do. So we want to find out, what does the Word of God say about this? Then that's how I'll do. So like, what is the most loving thing to do? You know, number one, it's not to get emotional. See, when our emotions rise, our thinking, our intelligence goes down, and we have a hard time processing. We make a lot of mistakes that way. And so if we keep our emotions in check, we recognize when we have emotions, they're good. They're good for a reason. Love's good for good. Happy's good. These things are good, but we don't run our lives by them. We run our lives by the Word of God. What does the Word say about this? What does intelligence say? You know, what is the most loving thing? If we get carried away with our emotions, we really can't think of what is the most loving response that we can do. Someone cusses you out, and if you get all emotional, oh, they cuss me out, now you want to cuss them out. Well, that doesn't do any good. Why are they doing that? You know, intelligence says, hey, why are they doing that? And so we want to think about that. There's this old story where this guy's on a subway and his kids are acting up, and it goes on and on and on. And finally the people are like, man, do something about your kids. And the guy turns and he says, you know what? Their mother just died, and they don't know it. And I don't know how to tell them. It changes the whole perspective. Why things are happening. It changes the whole perspective on what we think we see. We don't actually know. And so if you're a whiny baby, you're going to be dictated by your feelings, and you're not going to really seek to understand. You're not going to go in and have a heart of compassion. You're going to just go by what you feel or what you think at the time. And that's a mistake. It's a big mistake. This is all about a Christian walk. We want to be good examples. We want to say, you want to be able to say, follow me as I follow Christ, just like Paul did. You can say that. We can say that. Do as we do. So those are three things not to do. It is, don't abuse what you don't understand. Don't explain everything, for a crying out loud. Don't have to explain everything. And don't be dictated by your feelings. Don't do it. Don't do it. This is the 3 Degrees Podcast. My name is Pastor Randy. I'm so glad you were here. So glad you were here. Until next time, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Let's get to 100. Let's get to 100 subscriptions in YouTube. You can reach me go to the 3 Degrees Podcast on YouTube. 3 Degrees Podcast on YouTube. Let's get to 100. Can you do that? Would you help me out? Helping people out. That'd be great. Until next time, God bless. See you soon.